The Tale of the Forgotten Village and the Wise Stranger.
Once, in a faraway land surrounded by dense forests and rolling hills, there lay a small village named Harivana. The village was isolated, almost forgotten by the rest of the world, and the people there lived simple lives, tending to their fields and animals. Yet despite their hard work, they were often plagued by disputes, jealousy, and greed. No matter how much they harvested, there was always quarrel about who deserved more, and the village slowly sank into sadness and mistrust. One rainy evening, a stranger arrived at the village. He was tall, with silver hair and bright eyes that seemed to see through the hearts of people. He carried a simple wooden staff and wore a cloak that had seen many journeys. The villagers, wary of strangers, gathered at the edge of the village to see him, whispering to each other. The stranger spoke calmly. "I have traveled far and heard of your village. I come with a gift, but it can only be earned, not taken." Curious but skeptical, the villagers asked, "What gift is this? And what must we do to earn it?" The stranger smiled faintly and said, "The gift is wisdom and harmony, a treasure that strengthens every heart. But to earn it, you must show kindness, honesty, and unity for 30 days without fail." Many villagers laughed, thinking it was impossible. Some were dismissive, while a few, the younger and more hopeful ones, decided to try.
The stranger set simple rules.
Every day, one villager would perform a deed of kindness for someone else without expecting anything in return. They could help with work, share food, or offer guidance. Another rule was that no one could argue or lie. The village elders scoffed at these rules, saying they would never last. But slowly, the younger villagers began to follow the instructions. At first, it was awkward. Neighbors who had not spoken for years exchanged small smiles. Farmers helped each other in the fields, and children shared toys without fighting. By the 5th day, the villagers began noticing changes. Where there had been bitterness, there was now laughter. Where jealousy had clouded judgment, gratitude began to grow. One day, a farmer named Ramesh fell ill and could not work in his fields. Instead of gossiping about him, the neighbors brought food, helped with his harvest, and cared for his family. Ramesh, touched by their support, vowed to repay them in the same spirit of kindness. The stranger watched from the hilltop, nodding with quiet approval. As the days passed, the villagers started understanding something deeper. Kindness and honesty were not just rules, they were choices that strengthened the soul. Arguments that had lasted years were resolved in a single conversation. A young girl who had been shy and ignored began teaching other children to read. An old widow who had felt lonely for decades found friends in unexpected places. Slowly, the village's air seemed lighter, their hearts fuller, and their work more fruitful.
By the end of the 30 days, the stranger called all the villagers to the center of the village.
"You have done well," he said. "You have earned the gift of wisdom, but remember, the gift is not mine to give. It was inside you all along. You discovered that true wealth is in the goodness of your hearts, the strength of unity, and the courage to act with honesty." The villagers bowed, feeling both humbled and enlightened. Just as quietly as he had arrived, the stranger left the village that evening, walking into the forest with his staff tapping softly on the earth. But the lessons he left behind remained. Harivana became a place where disputes were rare, and cooperation and respect thrived. People traveled from distant lands to see how a once-forgotten village had transformed into a beacon of kindness and harmony. Years later, the story of Harivana was told to children before bedtime. Parents would say, "True happiness comes not from gold or silver, but from honesty, kindness, and helping one another." And whenever a traveler passed through the villagers would smile and offer a helping hand, knowing that the simple acts of love and truth could change the world around them. And so, the moral was clear. Wealth and prosperity are meaningless without compassion, honesty, and unity. The greatest gift we can ever receive is the goodness we nurture in ourselves and share with others. The story of Harivana reminds us that even the smallest acts of kindness can ripple through a community, creating a legacy that lasts for generations.